kitchen. So many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share.
Hello and welcome to the July show of So Many Cooks in the Kitchen. My name is Dilla Barman and I come to you from North Carolina. This is a monthly show. We've been doing it for more than 6 years. I'm one of the cooks in the kitchen. We have folks in many other states and a few other countries. And we go kitchen to kitchen sharing healthy, whole food, plant-based vegan dishes that are easy to make, that have no oils or once in a while minimal oils, and generally no added fat. All of us are Physicians Committee Food for Life instructors. Physicians Committee is an organization that champions the evidence base, the strong evidence base that eating this way can keep us healthy and it can help us manage diseases like diabetes, certain kinds of cancer, help to manage high blood pressure. I teach a class for high performance athletes. We have classes for children. So take a look at pcrm.org, fflclasses.org, see if there's an instructor near you, and see if there's an instructor who's offering online classes. So we decided this month, in July, it's summer, we like cool foods, to do so many bean salads. And this is a relatively new salad for me. I love cooking with beans. I made these chickpeas. I soaked them, and then I slow cooked this for like 6-7 hours in my Instant Pot, which you may see behind me. You can pressure cook. You generally put just enough water to cover the bean. Black beans, you need a little extra. And then you can pressure cook it for 9 minutes after soaking it. Or what you can do is slow cook. So I happen to slow cook these. I couldn't find red beans. I wanted red beans. So these are actually canned. I recommend keeping some canned beans on hand because sometimes if you're in a pinch, it'd be nice to have some beans, even though it's quick in a pressure cooker. So this is actually canned beans, canned red beans. Today what I'm going to be making for you is a 3-bean salad, and that's fairly common, but what isn't common is to integrate green beans. So all of these are legumes. They're in our power plate right here. Legumes are powerhouses of nutrition. Now the dried beans that we get in the store, or we can get canned like red beans and chickpeas, are very high in protein and fiber, and they're just a fabulous nutrition source. So are green beans, but they're different. Green beans are less nutritionally dense, and they have a lot more water in them. But they have more properties to help you stay healthy in terms of immune response. So they're also a great part of a healthy diet. Today's recipe is really easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to parboil these beans for about 2 minutes. I'm going to plunge this into a cold water bath, and then I'm going to bring it back. Bring it back into this pot. I'm going to mix in the chickpeas, the red beans. I slice some onions very thin. I have a very nice knife, and it lets me chop really thin. I also have some celery. I also have some garlic and lemon juice, and I'm going to be using some salt. Today I'm going to be using Himalayan pink salt. I'm going to grind it. I like the slightly chunkier grind I can get with this, but I want to remind you, some of us don't use salt at all, and that's fine. You don't need to use salt. But if you are using salts like this, make sure that you primarily, when you salt, use an iodized salt. This is not iodized, so make sure you're using an iodized salt. It says right here, this salt does not supply iodine, a necessary nutrient. Let's wish me a little bit of luck. We're near the bottom of this mustard, so I'm going to have to kind of do this to get the mustard out, and we'll use a little bit of a balsamic glaze. Okay, so let's get started. And we have some herbs. We have some oregano and salt and pepper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the green beans that I've cut. I took the ends off and I cut them into about 1-inch pieces. Now I just bought this yesterday, and the beans are a little bit discolored, but that's what they had. This is still quite edible. It just isn't the bright green, plain green that I would have preferred, but it's fine. So I'm going to add it to my boiling water. And in a few minutes, I'm going to use this pan again to assemble my salad. So please ask questions at any time. My colleagues are behind the computer and they can answer any questions. If you have a question just for me, I'll be back right after cooking. And then at the end today, when we're all done, we're going to have a Q&A session. And during the Q&A session, we have some giveaways. So ask questions anytime, but at that time, if you ask questions, you'll be qualified for the giveaway. We love doing these shows. We love sharing the many benefits of plant-based eating. The food we serve is generally very full of fiber. And here's a piece of information I'm going to ask rhetorically because I can't see you, but how many grams of fiber should we eat a day? So most Americans get something like 12 grams of fiber a day. We recommend 40 grams of fiber. And by eating beans, you are getting yourself well underway for your fiber intake, the recommended fiber intake. One serving of beans, dried beans, is about 8 grams of fiber. So 5 of these salads, 5 servings of these salads, and you have what we're suggesting. I'm not suggesting you only eat our bean salad, but this as one dish gives you 8 grams of fiber, which is pretty good. And that's one serving of beans. When you mix this, maybe you'll have a slightly bigger serving, so maybe you can realistically expect more than that. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to pull this out. My green bean has gotten much deeper in color, okay? So it's getting near the 2-minute mark. The whole point by parboiling is to soften it a little bit, to make it a little bit more matching with textures with the cooked chickpea and the canned red beans, but to keep as much nutrition as possible. So when we're done, when it gets to the point of being softer, we want to say, stop, stop, stop. So what I'm going to do in that regard is I have some ice here in this bowl, and I'm going to fill it with water and make an ice water bath. So let me go and get some water. Okay, and then in a moment, I'm going to plunge the beans into the ice water bath. I'm going to call that done. The handles aren't too hot, but I'm going to still be careful. You know, this is a gift. One of our cooks in the kitchen is Cody, and we were visiting, my daughter and I were visiting her, and we enjoyed a botanical garden in Omaha, and this is a gift from her. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the water. I'm going to use this. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to plunge this into the ice water. Okay, and by plunging it, this stops the cooking. So I got the tenderness I want. Yep. It's certainly more tender, and I'm going to let it sit just for a moment. And you can see, you can put your hand in and you can see it's nice and cold, but the beans are warming it up a little bit. So that arrests the cooking. I'm going to let it sit for just a second, and in the meantime, I'm going to put the other ingredients. I'm going to put my chickpeas, homemade chickpeas, canned red beans. Here come the thinly sliced onions. You can also use leek. There's a new hybrid I love called sweet garlic. It's a cross between garlic and leek. Here's some garlic. I've gone a little heavy with the garlic. This particular dish I think does better with a little less garlic, but I think that's fine. Here's my celery. Okay. And I'm going to now drain the water and add the beans. Okay, so here's the beans, the green beans. To add it here. If the ice had all melted, I would just dump this in, but I really don't want ice in my salad. This is a summertime salad. It's best served cold. So the chickpeas are cool because I cooked them a few hours ago. The red beans are at room temperature. So actually, I'm planning on serving this. I'm planning on eating it right after I make it. but this would be nice to sit in your refrigerator for all the flavors to marinate and taste even better. Okay. There we go. All my beans. 3 more. Okay, there we go. Okay, so mix it up. Let's add a little balsamic glaze. If you don't like vinegar, and you know, my parents are from India, and I never really had foods with vinegar, not much, maybe some dill pickles. I wasn't used to it, and I didn't really get exposed to much vinegar until college or beyond. It's not a part of Indian cuisine in general, at least the kind of cooking my mom would make. Now, I'm just squirting it in, but the measurements are all in the recipe document. Let's see if I can get a little bit of mustard out. This tastes good with a hint of mustard, not too much. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of mustard. There we go. And that was maybe almost a teaspoon of mustard. I wouldn't want any more than that. Some lemon juice. Many of you know I'm a big fan of citrus. A little tangerine juice would be awesome with this too. A little bit of black pepper. Don't put much black pepper. Just a little bit. Freshly ground black pepper. When I say don't put much, suit your flavor preferences. A little bit of dried oregano. I just don't find black pepper really matches this dish that well. So just a little bit. And then if you want to skip salt, by all means, I'm going to add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. And done. That's it. You can see I used red onions. That adds a nice color. The contrast of the deep red kidney beans, the pale chickpeas, and the green beans. You know, what also goes well with this is miso. A little bit of miso is nice. You can even mix the miso into a miso ginger like dressing. I used to do that often. So just blend some miso, a little bit of ginger, and some garlic. It's a paste, and then mix it in. That would go really well with this. You can also have some herbs, and I do have some fresh herbs here. So let me reuse this bowl that had some onion in it. So I'm going to serve this salad like this. Easy to do. And you know, you don't have to cook chickpeas. You can buy canned beans. Then this becomes, you buy the green beans, do a quick parboil, mix the beans, and if you really are running late, skip the garlic, add a little bit of onion, do something like that. Okay, so here goes. And to garnish it, I'm going to get, I got from my garden, you know what goes well with this is lavender. Let's get just a little bit of lavender. Lavender adds, many people don't cook with lavender. I don't often, but once in a while I do. Lavender adds kind of an earthy flavor, and by using it as a garnish, the diner can just enjoy the look of it, or they can integrate it into the food. So, excuse me, let me get a spoon. And this is the point where you can taste it and make some small modifications. More lemon juice, a little more salt. It's so good. It's just the right amount of mustard. It's light on the salt, which is fine with me. It's such a nice flavor combination with the green beans and the dried beans. And I'll take a bite of the lavender. That appeals to me. It won't appeal to everybody. You can also use herbes de Florence. I have some of that, which includes lavender. Delicious. Almost no fat, no added fat, and easy. Give it a try. It makes for a great summertime picnic. So I really enjoyed sharing this recipe with you. I hope you will try it. Please let us know. Stay in touch with us. Give us any ideas for future shows. I can't remember who's next, but whoever's behind the computer right now, which will be me in a few minutes, will pass it on. I'm almost positive it's Janin in Abu Dhabi. So Janin, or whoever it is, take it away. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for Q&A, and I will see you soon.
Hi, everybody. Today I'm recording in my daughter's garden, and it's beautiful just a gorgeous morning in Massachusetts. I have once again, a very easy recipe for our so many beans salads theme. I have cooked some green beans. I'm not doing dried beans. I'm doing fresh beans because they're so much in season. I have some green beans. This is a very typical Italian salad from where we live in Piemonte in Italy. Usually they're the thinner ones, but this is the ones I could find at the market the other day. It's the really thin haricot vert, I think the French ones, which if you blanch will cook in just a couple of minutes. These took a little longer, but you cook it to your liking. I like them a little crunchy, but still brilliantly green. So that's what it's all about. So I have my beans. I'll put them in this little bowl. And I also have some tomatoes. So my tomatoes have been marinating in a little bit of vinegar and a pinch of salt. And if you're no salt, please avoid it. And these tomatoes have been marinating for about 45 minutes because then they release their juices. You can see and they get tastier. And basically the vinegar, salt, and the tomato juice becomes the dressing for this salad. So I have my beans, and the beans are cooked and chilled. I immediately put them under cold water, and they've now been standing and cold. Because if you have green vegetables, and if they're still warm from the cooking, when you put something acid, they lose their color, whether it's lemon juice or vinegar or whatever. So they're just fine because they've been chilled. And here's my tomatoes. So very easy peasy. I dump my tomatoes in there with all their juices, the marinade juices, and then I mix them. Look at this beautiful color. Ta-da! Our salad is done, basically. And I have some fresh basil from her garden. So I'll tear little pieces of it. And this just adds beautiful aroma and extra flavor to the salad. If you do this salad in the winter, you can also use, if you don't have access to fresh basil, you can do dried basil or dried oregano. And also fresh oregano is very good, especially if you have access to it in your garden or from wherever. So I'm putting these here. Oh, that's so wonderful smelling. And I have some more. And that's it. This easy peasy salad is a summer favorite in Italy where we live. And you can find it pretty much at all the houses and all the restaurants too. What's also wonderful is to add red onions if you like onions, but that's sometimes I do that as well. And this marinade, of course, if you do the salad today and eat it tomorrow, the flavors blend even more. Look how beautiful, brilliant the colors are. So now I'm going to put some onto my plate. Look at that. It's just so decorative and so flavorful as well. It makes a good appetizer, or you can also use it just as a salad. I'll put that there to make it more aesthetically pleasing. And here's my beautiful plate of simple green bean and tomato salad dressed with vinegar and salt. I used red wine vinegar. You can use the vinegar of your choice. You want to taste it? So simple and so delicious. A summer favorite of mine. And that's it for July. I might miss you all in August. It'll be my first episode that I will miss. Well, except for the one I missed during the war in the Iran-America war that affected us in the United Arab Emirates. Because in August, my daughter is expecting a baby right around the time when we have our show. So, more people after me, and I'll see you at Q&A. Bye!
Thanks, that looks delicious. So many exciting bean salads to try. So I'm Carolyn, and I am a Food for Life instructor here in Montgomery, Alabama. And today I am making a 3-bean salad because when I was a little kid, my mom used to make 3-bean salads all the time. And I wasn't a huge fan of beans, I'll have to be honest. At the time, I ate them. Mostly I liked the kidney beans, I think, that were in the 3-bean salad. And I liked the dressing that was on it. So this is a healthier version, but if you remember from, you might be dating yourself with this, but from the 1970s, there was a 3-bean salad that was very popular. And it was mostly made out of kidney beans, chickpeas, and wax beans. Wax beans are like green beans, but they're yellow. And in some parts of the country, they're called butter beans. In the South, butter beans are often what most people in other parts of the country call lima beans. Here they're called butter beans. So butter beans are different things in different parts of the country, apparently. So I don't have any wax beans. They're actually really hard to find. But this is a great recipe actually by Drina Burton, and I've kind of just adapted it to be any 3 beans you want in your salad. So I think in hers she uses chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans. But in mine, what I'm doing today is kidney beans and lima beans, or in the South we call them butter beans, and green beans. So because 3-bean salad, you know, any beans you want. So seriously, any beans you want. So you could use chickpeas, pinto beans, black beans, cannellini beans, maybe even pink-eyed peas or black-eyed peas, you know, whatever you have on hand. Here in the South, in the summertime, black-eyed peas and purple hull peas and cream peas and lady peas are all very much in season right now. So these lima beans or butter beans here in the South are in season right now. And so these are some I got at the farmer's market and cooked myself. And then these are green beans that I bought at the farmer's market and cooked. And then these are kidney beans that are out of a can. So if you want to make this with 3 different kinds of canned beans, then really it's just 3 whole cans of different kinds of beans. And just rinse them and drain them really well. But seriously, any 3 beans you like, it works. So 4 to 4.5 cups of beans, and about 3 cans equals about 4.5 cups of beans. So I'm adding the kidney beans and the green beans and the lima beans or butter beans, whatever you want to call them where you live. There we go. So it's already kind of colorful. Look at that. Okay. And then peppers. So this is about 3/4 of a cup of chopped mini bell peppers. So these are these adorable little sweet peppers that we find at the farmer's market here at this time of year. These are not spicy. So these are like little bitty bell peppers, kind of. But you could also use a big green bell pepper. You could use a big red bell pepper, but you want about 3/4 of a cup. So this is orange, yellow, green kind of bell peppers mixed together, adding lots of color. And then a 1/4 cup of celery, just because it's crunchy and crispy. You could add radishes or cucumber or anything else you like that's a crunchy vegetable. And then this is about a 1/2 cup of freshly sliced green onion from my garden. But, so you don't have to go with green onion. In the South, we also have these Vidalia onions or sweet onions. So you could use a 1/2 cup of this instead, finely chopped. And that's a perfectly fine option as well. And already look how beautiful. Look at all those colors. Okay. This is where the Drina Burton's recipe is just so awesome, because it takes a big turn away from the traditional 3-bean salad with an apple. So we're adding, and this sounds kind of crazy, I never thought apple in a 3-bean salad would be good, but it's amazing. This is so good. So this is a chopped Honeycrisp apple that I just cut open a lemon and squirted some fresh lemon juice on it to keep it from turning brown. Because remember, lemon juice has antioxidants in it, which keeps it from oxidizing. And so apple doesn't have a lot of antioxidant, so it's going to start turning brown. So it's about a half a teaspoon or so of fresh lemon juice tossed on the apple. And then we're just tossing it right in. There we go. Look how beautiful. This is such a colorful, crisp, delicious salad. Okay, so far, really pretty. Okay, and then let's go with the dressing ingredients. This is the part that just makes this salad just sing. It is beautiful. So you don't even have to mix the dressing ingredients together. You can just toss it all in here and then stir it up. So this is about 3½ tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And we have 1 to 1½ teaspoons of Dijon mustard, which I'm just going to eyeball it. So that's about 1.5 teaspoons right there. And then we have a tablespoon of maple syrup. I will measure that. Okay, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, just to give it a little bit of sweetness, not too much. And stir it all up. And then I'm going to add a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. There we go. And maybe a little pinch of salt, up to about 1/2 teaspoon. I wouldn't go more than that. And obviously salt is optional. If you are on a low sodium diet, just don't add the salt. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Now I think there's some other things you could add in if you want to, like maybe some fresh chopped parsley. That would be really nice. But look how beautiful. Beautiful. This is such a gorgeous salad. So bright and colorful, so crisp and fresh. It just tastes like summer to me. And I do have to say, I made this for the 4th of July a few weeks ago and brought it up to my mom's house, and my brother was there. He is not vegan. He does like when I cook, but he's not vegan. He ate almost all of this by himself because he loved it so much that he couldn't stop eating it. So when I made it then, I didn't do the green beans. I added black beans and chickpeas instead of the lima beans and the green beans. But it's really the dressing that makes it. It's that apple cider vinegar and mustard and maple syrup, that combination. That's what really makes this salad just taste so incredible. Plus those little hits of sweet apple that you bite into, just amazing. So it's a great, great salad. We have been making this with the research study that I'm part of, with our the people on the caring study, and they have all really enjoyed this salad too. So do try to make it. I really, I hope you do, and let us know. So write back and let us know if you've made it, because this is just, it's a fantastic, beautiful, colorful salad that you could bring to a potluck or any family gathering, just perfect for summer. So, and do ask a question during the Q&A so you can be entered in the drawing for our wonderful prizes today. And with that, I am going to send it over to Cody.
Hey, Carolyn, thanks for sharing that recipe. I would have never thought to put apple in there, but that looks like such a fun little tasty option, and I'm really going to have to give that a go. I think that looks so tasty. So thanks for sharing today. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Cody Stubbe. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and today I'm going to make a zesty chickpea salad sandwich. And this is just such a quick little fun recipe that you can tweak it to your liking, and it works great for just like a summer lunch. You can bring it to a picnic, but it's just super quick to put together and delicious. And like I said, very versatile. So you tweak it to your own liking. So anyway, so we're going to start off with a can of chickpeas. They've been drained and rinsed, and I'm just going to squish them up a little bit here with a fork. They're pretty soft, so it's pretty easy to do. And I don't want to put them, I mean, you could put them in a food processor. You just would really want to only like blitz it a few times, because otherwise you'd make probably some hummus out of it. And I still want quite a bit of texture with this. So I'm just going to squish them up with my fork. It's working really well. I already had half of it started before I come on. Otherwise it'd take a few extra more minutes. But this is a fun little recipe. You could have a little helper. Would you like to come help? I got Nora in the background. I was hoping I could get her to come help me out here. But anyway, this is fun. Kids like to squish things. This would be a fun thing to involve your kids in with. All right. So it looks like it, it makes quite a bit actually. So, and it smells really good. If you like chickpeas, this is a good recipe for you. So you don't want it, like I said, too fine. You still kind of want it like little chunky. All right. Then I'm going to add in like my sauce stuff. So I have now I'm usually when I make this, I just kind of like dump stuff in and mix it up. So this is the first time I've actually tried to put some measurements to this. So it may not be exact. I'll do my best to write down the recipe, but just understand that you may have to add a little or less of certain things to get it to your liking. So some people like things more saucy and thinner, and some people like things more chunky. So like I said, just kind of tweak it to your liking. So I have about 2 tablespoons. This is vegan mayo. I just bought some, but you can easily make your own. I got a little salt and pepper here, just a little dash of both, and about 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. So this is just going to provide our little sauce for everything here. And this one's going to be kind of a zesty recipe. So I like to add a little bit of heat. So I got a little bit of sriracha sauce. If you're not one that can handle heat, then just leave it out. If you like lots of heat, add some more. Or you can add some extra cayenne pepper to this if you'd like. So usually I make this for my middle daughter. She likes a little bit of spiciness. All right, so I'm going to mix this up now. Just kind of incorporate it good. You can squish a little bit more if you see any of those chickpeas that need an extra little squish. But I don't want to make hummus. Not for this recipe anyhow. And that actually, for me, that looks like the about perfect amount of vegan mayonnaise. So it's just to kind of give it a little flavor and kind of hold it together a little bit more. Okay. All right. Smells so good. Next, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of thinly sliced green onions. And if you don't have green onions, you can use whatever kind of onion you prefer. You could do a little bit of red onion. You could do yellow onion, whatever you have on hand is usually what I do.
You don't need onions.
Nora says we don't need onions. And you're right. You don't need onions if you don't like onions, right? Okay, so I'm just going to carefully mix that up. I don't want to just don't want to mess it up too much, just to kind of incorporate it. Then lastly here, I got grapes. So this is going to kind of throw in that little sweetness. It's going to make it kind of fun. So it's going to have that zesty, spicy, and then just a little bit of sweetness. Now, if you have somebody who doesn't like grapes, then I would just leave that as an option for you to just put this on your piece of bread and then maybe put these on top of that instead of incorporating throughout. But I know that my daughter, who loves this salad for her sandwiches, likes the grapes too. So I'm going to dump them in. I'm going to try not to squish the grapes. I really don't want the juice just making it extra saucy. I'm just going to kind of gently kind of mix it in here. Like I said, it makes a pretty good amount. This will last us for a couple days. If it's just me and Ella eating this. There we go.
Dad might eat it.
Nora says Dad might eat it. He might. So that's what it looks like. So it smells so good. Now I have a piece of toast. I already had lunch. So this is just to make a small sandwich. And I like to toast my bread. This is like Dave's whole grain bread. And then I'm just going to take some of our filling. This would be great for little sandwiches for like a summer tea party. There we go. And then you could put it with some greens. You always need more greens. And then just put it together. And then there you go. A cute little zesty and sweet chickpea salad sandwich. So I hope you'll give it a go. I'm going to be eating it while we do our Q&A, so you'll have to forgive me, but I have to eat some of this because it's so good. So anyway, I'm going to send it over to Dillip, and then we'll be all joined for Q&A. So please have your questions ready. Hi, Dillip.
Hi, Cody. Hi, Cody. We're so lucky that Janin's here, too. Usually with time change, she cooks and is done. So good to see you, Janin. Welcome
Hi,
back.
everybody.
Welcome to the United States as well.
Thank you. It's good to be in a different surrounding. I'm in my daughter's kitchen.
Nice. So congratulations. You're expecting another grandchild, so that's exciting. And we're
Right.
going to miss you in the next show. Janin is a regular. I don't think Janin's missed but one. And Cody's missed maybe two. And I don't think I missed any. So, but you're like a long time one, so we're going to miss you next time.
Yeah, the only one I missed was extenuating circumstances.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. There have been lots of good commentary, and we've gotten some great questions. I'm going to, since I can't usually ask you, Janin, I'm going to ask you, Janin, to keep track of who asked questions. Would you mind maintaining a list of?
Where? Sorry, but I'm only on StreamYard here.
Do you have a piece of paper?
Sure, I can do that. Let me get a piece
Oh,
of
Dillip,
paper.
I can do it.
Don't worry. So Cody will do it.
Okay.
So Cody,
Thank
as
you.
questions,
Sorry.
as questions come in, Cody will keep track. So
Okay.
go ahead and ask questions. I have a number of questions, and from now on, hi Nora. Hi Nora.
She stole my chair. I guess we
Oh
can
my
just
gosh,
share.
So as questions come in, we'll note down, and then we'll do a random drawing. We have two nice prizes. We have a set of I think they're heirloom organic dried beans, so you can make some
Ooh.
nice beans. And then we have a magazine subscription to Veg News. So let's see what questions are coming in. So Kathy doesn't have a question, but she has a comment. I'll bet arugula. And I agree. Arugula in that sandwich, Cody, would be really good.
Arugula tastes good on anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a mix that's got some arugula and then the beet greens in there too. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, my
Arugula is
daughter
my
loves
favorite on a
arugula.
pizza.
What is it called in Europe and England? Isn't it called rocket green or rocket or something like that?
Rocket, yeah. They
Rocket,
call it rocket as well.
So, but the first question has come in. So, Cody, please add Janet Does to our list as the first questioner.
Okay.
Questioner, like we're being questioned. No, but the first person asking a question is Janet. Question for Caroline. Caroline, she couldn't join. You recommend sweet or tart apples for your 3-bean salad? I'll tell you what I would do, but you can make it your own. Do whatever you think tastes best. But for me, I think that with a 3-bean salad, a sweet apple would be good, not so much a tart one. But what do you think, Cody?
Well, I think she had Honey Crisp, so I think that's a good sweet, juicy apple.
Juicy, crunchy as well.
I wish Carolyn was here. My question is for her. You mentioned several beans in the South I never heard of. Yeah, can you get them in the West? Have you ever tried any hot peppers? So let's see if we can kind of handle that. So one thing, if you're interested in beans, for whatever reasons, only certain beans are generally widely available commercially. But if you look online, you can find companies. I have a friend, the guy who actually, he films me for the shows. Brian is his name. Brian's wife is from South America, and they order beans in bulk from South America, and they get varieties we don't get in the United States. So what I would say is just do a little investigation. Your store may only have a few varieties: black beans, red beans, chickpeas, Azuki beans. But then if you search, you should be able to find more. Janin, can you add to that?
You can find them in also health food stores, all sorts of beans. I find that nowadays supermarkets have a lot as well. So I don't know. Am I answering your question,
Yeah,
Dylan?
yeah. Cody, please add Patricia as the second person to ask a question. Do you have anything to add to the discussion about varieties of beans, Cody?
I mean, you can pretty much buy anything online now too. I think that there was I can't remember. I heard of a bean store online. I can't remember the name of it, but I know that there's one out there that you
Oh,
can buy really good quality beans and they'll ship them to you. I think they're
oh
dry,
yeah,
of course, so that's
I've
something to
seen
look
that.
into too.
Your memory has not been so good, huh?
No, I guess I need to eat more beans.
then you'll for sure be a human being.
Yes.
Okay, we have more questions. So Janet makes a comment. And Jean, I'm going to mute you. When you speak, you can unmute because we hear children in the background. It's a little bit loud. So I've muted you, but when you want to speak, I'll unmute you. Okay, so Janet mentions that you can have more varieties in international stores. For example, Middle Eastern restaurants often have additional kinds of beans. Okay, Kathy has a question. If you cook dried beans, and let's add Kathy to the list, if you add dried beans and cook them, how long would they last in the fridge? Okay, my thought is that once you make your beans and refrigerate them, they're good for at least 3 or 4 days. But something really cool, and I'll run and show it to you in just a second, is thanks to Carolyn, she talked about what was called the Mason Genie. And she loves it. And I investigated. I chose not to buy that. I was thinking of buying something, but I bought, and I'll show it to you in a minute. I bought Zwilling brand. It's a brand. It's these containers that you can evacuate air, and I love it. And I'm buying more and more containers. So if you do something like you evacuate the air, you put it in a bag, and you get rid of all the oxygen, then your cooked beans should last at least a week. At least a week. Let me go get it while maybe Cody adds to that.
Yeah. So I've, gosh, and it just depends what you make. Like if we make a big pot of chili, it probably lasts like 5 days or so. We usually eat it pretty quick. But you can also freeze your cooked beans. Like I usually do it in like a 1.5 cup portion. So that kind of equals out to about a can of cooked beans. So then you can just grab that and let it thaw out before you need that can of cooked beans. You can just use the the home cooked freezer ones that you did. And that works really good if you want to cook them in bulk and save them.
Let me show you my new toy. So this comes in all sorts of containers, plastic bags, really big containers. This is one that was just sitting on my counter ready to be washed, put in the dishwasher. These are dishwasher safe. I'm not trying to sell these, but I'm just saying it's a good system. And so you can put things in, and it's so easy. We have this little pump, and what you do is you attach this, and you press the button. And in a few seconds, it evacuates all the air, and that's it. And now I can't take the top off. So what I do is the top won't come off, is I release it. And now it comes right off. So everybody's different. Carolyn likes the Mason Genie, and she likes it because there's no plastic involved. You don't need plastic, but the top is plastic actually, but they also have plastic bags. The thing I like about this is it turns off automatically, and it has this really cool code, and you can scan it with your phone, and it maintains an inventory of what you have and when you first did it, which is pretty cool. But they just 2 days ago sent an email, they're discontinuing the app. But anyhow, I like my system a lot. It's really great, and it lets things last much longer. My cereals are in these big containers. But okay, let's see. There's more questions. Geetha, you did win the Mason Genie, and I apologize. We haven't shipped it to you yet. We had some problems last month, but we've resolved them. So what is it called for the vacuum container? So this one is called the Zwilling, Zwilling. Zwilling is a very well-known German brand that makes knives. And when I saw they make this and they have high quality, I was pretty convinced this is probably the right way to go for me. And where can you find this? So Zwilling, I sound like a salesperson. I'm going to stop talking about this, but Zwilling products are available at good kitchen stores. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them. I got these directly from the Zwilling factory. I wrote to them. I ordered from them and they shipped them to me. It's free shipping if you buy a certain number of catalogs, a certain number of items. Okay, Let's see. And I agree with Kathy. That was the company that I think I was thinking of too, Rancho Gordo. The only thing is I'm not positive Rancho Gordo is organic, but Rancho Gordo has lots of good varieties of beans. Okay, here's a question from Sandy. I bought a yummy pre-made garbanzo bean and edamame salad. I found a similar recipe I'd like to make, but asked for 4 tablespoons of oil. Okay, so Cody, you want to talk about that? I'm going to put this away while you answer
Sure. So you could do just like the juice from your garbanzo beans. They call it aquafaba instead of your oil. So it still kind of gives that, I guess, kind of a sauce, you know, but it doesn't have the extra added fat to it. Or if it's something you just need a little extra juice, you could also just do like filtered water if it's something like that. I've done either or. What do you think, Jonan?
Okay, hi. I sometimes make a tofu mayonnaise for bean salads. I like that, or just a vinaigrette. That also works well. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you take some tofu and put it in a blender and squeeze some lemon, put a little bit of mustard, salt, and pepper, any flavors you like, make it a creamy sauce. And then instead of a mayonnaise in a bean salad, that also works well. I love lemon juice. Most of my go-to bean salads are lemon juice based or a vinaigrette.
Okay, good questions. Keep the questions coming. I have some questions too. So, Janan, for you, one thing that a lot of people who cook with tomatoes like to do is they like to use Roma tomatoes because they're firmer and more fresh. I don't like the taste of Roma tomatoes. I find that they're not as strong in flavor, so I almost never use Roma tomatoes. Sometimes,
Right.
if I really want it to maintain the structure, would you like to take a moment and talk a little bit about your recipe and recipes in general with Roma tomatoes? And by the way, I learned so much from each one of you. Like the way you said, I always thought it was Piedmont, the Piedmont part of Italy. So I'm not Italian. It's beautiful hearing you speak Italian.
Thank you. Well, that's
something.
Piemonte is the Italian way of saying Piedmont. Piedmont is the English way.
If I ever feel sad, I should call you and have you speak Italian. I'll feel so good.
No, better my husband. He is the native speaker.
Okay.
But you're right about Roma tomatoes. But I don't know if we have them here. I like the ox's heart tomatoes. They're really big ones. Those are amazingly sweet and wonderful. I prefer cherry tomatoes because they're always sweet. That's why I put cherry tomatoes. In Italy,
Sungold.
and in Piedmont, in Piemonte, the original recipe is using the ox's heart tomatoes, and then they chop them into small bite-sized pieces, and then they put them in the mix. So I like, my preferred things are the cherry tomatoes because they're always sweet. And then I don't have to, you know how easy it is just to slice them in half, because the big tomatoes, you have to cut them into smaller pieces and then deal with the seeds and the juices. And now I have the dog visiting. This is a animated house. I think everyone has their own favorites. My daughter actually doesn't like tomatoes so much, but today at lunch, we had the salad, and she said, I don't even like tomatoes, but I like this. This is so good, the recipe that I made. So she likes it.
That's awesome.
I think one of the parts about making a tomato salad that I like is the marinating them beforehand, like either with some salt only or salt and vinegar, so that they let their juices down and they sort of are happily marinating in their own juices, and that makes them sweeter for me. Whatever tomato salad I make, I always cut them first, sprinkle a little salt and vinegar, and let them stand, and then I make the salad.
And another question came in for you from Kathy Sabo. I wonder if you can blend up some of those beans and add a little bit of the aquafaba and maybe a little lime or lemon juice as a substitute dressing. What do you think about that?
That's to Cody or me?
No, to you.
For the salad that I made, or for the idea that I was.
Kathy didn't specify, so I guess it could be.
Okay, no problem. Blend up some of the beans, aquafaba. Yeah, why not? That would do. Because I guess not green beans necessarily, but the dried beans, when they're blended with some aquafaba and lemon juice or other flavors, they become very creamy. A lot of people use white beans, cannellini, or other for making also a bean-based mayonnaise. So it does become very creamy sauce. That's a good idea, Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to add anything, Cody, to that? I'm going to mute you in the meantime.
No, I don't need to add anything. I agree with that.
So Kathy asks, it's amazing the difference in sweetness. Oh, cherry tomatoes. So if you've never had a sun gold tomato, it's like candy. If you have kids and they eat candy, give them some sun golds and they'll probably give up candy. Sun golds are just amazing. And
I like the little yellow pear-shaped ones. Is that the kind you're talking about?
No, they're round. They're not. I like those too, but the sun golds are round and they're so sweet.
Huh. Yeah, I like the yellow ones.
Yeah. And so Kathy likes the small red ones the best. There's so many kinds of tomatoes, which is really cool.
For sure.
And Sandy mentioned she likes. Sandy mentioned she likes lemon juice. And here's a question from Kathy: is aquafaba? Is it with a B for boy? Aquafaba, not fava. Mm-hmm. But there are fava beans, but it's aquafaba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think in Latin, faba may mean bean. I'm not positive. Yeah, Jean is confirming. So it's water of bean. I'm like the only one I know. Cody has. I think you have, Jean.
It's the family name of the beans, anyways. Fabaceae. It's called. Like how plants have. How we have the brassicas or the cruciferous veggies.
Uh-huh.
The beans are in the Fabaceae or Fabaceae, as they say in Italian. Mm. It's the family name of the beans in botany. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a couple questions for Cody. What was that? Okay. So for Cody, I had a couple questions for you. Is when you prepare your dish, how important is texture? Could you use for example, a potato masher? Could you use a food processor, or does that get it too smooth? You like a chunk to it, and so is there a disadvantage of a masher, for example?
Yeah, so it just depends on what you like. So I don't do the food processor because I'd probably make hummus with it, and that was not my end goal. So I like to use a fork, or you could do some type of potato masher, is pretty similar to a fork, and just smash it up as much as you want. But yeah, I mean, if you prefer the food processor, just make sure you're just doing the pulsing, and then don't overdo it.
Okay. Also for you, Cody, I wanted to ask about grapes. So I'm like you. I like to mix in lots of different things and come up with new combinations. And I'm just trying to picture grape and chickpea, and I'm sure it's good, but my brain doesn't make it sound like it would be a great combination. Tell us more. What gave you the idea, and what does it taste like? Does it just add a little bit of sweetness? Do you taste some of the skin of the grape when you bite into it? Does it give a little resistance? Describe what it's like with grapes.
Oh, well, okay. So this is my veganized version of the chicken salad sandwich, right? And certain ones of those would have grapes in it. I always used to like that version of it. And so this is the veganized version with the grapes. The grapes just give that extra sweetness that I like, especially with the little bit of spice from the sriracha sauce. It's just kind of fun. So it's like sweet and tangy at the same time, or zesty, I guess you could say. So yeah.
Nice.
I just like it. You should try it, Dilip.
I should. Maybe I would try with tangerines.
Well, yeah, I guess you could try that. It might be really good.
Yeah. Speaking of grapes, my wife picked some grapes up a few days ago, and I put them under vacuum so they'll last even longer. And they're organic champagne grapes, and they're fabulous. They're so good. They're little grapes. They're very sweet and just really, really good. Question from Janet Doe. When I make chickpea salad, I end up having more mayo each day. It gets dry. Do you have that issue? So I'm going to defer to either of you because I know next to nothing on this topic on vegan mayonnaise. Cody, what do you think about this?
I mean, possibly. I don't know. Mine doesn't last very long, so. But maybe if you used your vacuum, if you had something similar to what Dilip had, that might keep it also from getting dried out. Yeah, I mean, adding a little more mayonnaise or a little aquafaba, just that juice from the bean, would help soften it back up too.
I agree with El Cathar. And El Cathar, I encourage you to ask a question because that's a comment. We can't enter you in the drawing unless you ask a question. But I wanted to echo what you're saying. Beans are so healthy. They're an important part of our power plate. Our power plate is legumes, anything with a pod like beans, lentils, things of that nature, fruits, whole grains, and vegetables. Legumes are really, really healthy. And I'll say one thing. We haven't really talked about this today, but I teach a lot of children, and I can be blunt with them. And I ask, so beans give you high fiber. We recommend 40 grams of fiber a day, and most Americans get maybe 10 or 12 grams of fiber. It's so easy to get 40 grams. And why do we want high fiber? We want high fiber to keep us regular. When you're done eating, no matter how good your food is, if you're eating 100% whole food, plant-based, organic, whatever you're eating, once you're done, it's in you. Get rid of it. Why let it hang out? So we want to clear ourselves, right? We want to let it go. Our friends who listen to the song from Frozen or watch Frozen know, but let it go, let it go. And so beans do let things go. And so I ask rhetorically when I work with kids and even with adults, have you gone poo-poo today? And if the answer is no, well, maybe you should eat more beans. Ideally, you should be making bowel movements at least once, if not twice a day. And if you're not, you're keeping stuff in you really don't want. And being a little bit more scatological, when you do go to the bathroom, it shouldn't hurt. It should be easy. It should be an easy, pleasant experience. You shouldn't be reading novels in the bathroom. You should be in and out and back to life. And so beans help you with that. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't been eating beans and you suddenly start eating beans, you watch our show and say, I'm not eating any beans, I'm going to start eating beans. Cody, you want to talk about that? What happens if you suddenly start eating beans and we haven't been eating beans?
Well, you produce a lot of gas, and you can be very uncomfortable. So it's best to kind of take it slow and gradually increase your bean consumption in increments. So yeah, like also start with something that's a little bit more easily to digest, such as like lentils are pretty easy legume for your body to digest with less gas. So maybe starting off with that and then working up to these other beans. So
Janan, do you want to add to that anything?
Yeah, low, slow, and steady. That's it. That's what I say to all my clients and friends and family when they want to start eating. I said, if you go from 12 grams to 40 tomorrow, you're going to hate me. So don't do it. Really add a little bit, even maybe if you haven't eaten them a long time, start with one maybe teaspoon or tablespoon a day and build up. And like Cody said, start with the small ones. One thing I find that helps is also whatever recipe you do add some like vinegar or something. I find that the vinegar or lemon juice helps with the digestion and makes it easier. Those are the things I don't need it anymore because I eat beans 2-3 times a day now, and it's all fine. And but that's what I advise our students or clients.
Yeah, I would agree. I would also give you a couple more hints. So if you get canned beans, that's fine. But if you're making your own beans, cook them to death. A lot of you guys know why you shouldn't cook vegetables too much, because then the water-soluble vitamins come out. So we don't want to overcook our vegetables, but beans, go ahead. If the recipe and you're new to beans and you're pressure cooking and it says 9 minutes, pressure cook it for 12 minutes or 15 minutes. If you pressure cook it for 25 minutes, it's going to be mush. But if you cook it for a couple extra minutes, you're not going to dilute the nutrition much at all. It's so powerful with nutrition, but you're going to make it a little more digestible. The fiber will be broken down a little bit more. So overcook it a bit. Soak your beans with baking soda. Baking soda removes the gaseous compounds. but give it a try. It doesn't take long. If you're not eating beans and you start ramping up, I'm talking about ramping up over a week or so, not a long time. And then I was the same way. I wasn't eating a lot of beans when I was much younger. My parents have always been vegetarian, but like probably many of our parents, my mom was a great cook, but she didn't know much about nutrition. Even people who took home ec and all, it was about how to make your dishes tastier and all, but there wasn't much talk on nutrition. So for a number of years, I thought I couldn't eat beans. When I go to people's homes, I'd say, and this is before I was vegan, I was a vegetarian. So I would say, well, I'm a vegetarian, but I can't tolerate beans. And of course, that's silly because I eat lots of beans now. So give yourself a chance to start, have some beans, and then build yourself up. And like John said, I can eat beans 2 or 3 times a day. And really enjoy them. So the other great thing about beans is they're so cheap. You can go to the store, get dry beans, and make it yourself, or you can buy canned beans. A can of beans can be 89 cents. And if you are concerned with expense, like tomorrow I'm teaching a Food for Life class for retirees. And they don't seem wanting of money, but they probably are fixed income. And if they're concerned where they're spending their money and you want to have dinner, well, literally, if you want an easy peasy dinner, you buy 89 cents, you buy a can of beans, maybe you spend $1 for an onion and you just use a little bit of it, maybe a bell pepper, another $1. So you've spent like $4 and now you have a nice maybe a bean salad with onions and bell peppers. And then maybe you get some brown rice and you cook that, and the brown rice is maybe $1. And you get some fresh vegetables and you get some fruit. So you've now made dinner for $5 for a family of 4 or 5. So you can have dinner for $1 literally. And there is a book, it's called Eating Vegan for Under, $3 a day or something like that. So if you are concerned with money, beans are a great choice. They're a nutritional powerhouse. They fill you up, they're full of fiber, and they cost really next to nothing. Okay, what was it about baking soda? So Kathy, if you are getting, and you're a longtime viewer, so I don't think you have an issue with beans, but Kathy, when you're cooking for other people who haven't eaten a lot of beans, when you soak your beans, put some baking soda, maybe a half teaspoon or a teaspoon of baking soda in the soak water. And then after you've soaked it overnight, rinse the beans. The baking soda will extract a lot of the compounds that cause gas. So that was the comment in baking soda. Kathy also mentioned, I discovered I really like to steam veggies. It takes a little longer, but tastes fresher. Yep. And El Cathar has a question. So let's add El Cathar to our list. Are there any bean combinations you think are the best? I don't. I'm going to see if Cody wants to answer this.
No, not really. The best ones are the ones that you have.
Janan, did you want to add to that?
Sure, the best ones are the ones you like eating to start with. You don't want to push stuff. I like this mix of, I buy a can which has 11 different kinds of beans, which I will never do by myself at home. That's insane. But buying the can, I make bean salads, and it's just so exciting that I'm getting 11 different plants in one can. On top of it, I add whatever else to make my bean salad. It's something that with 25 different veggies. So I inch my way towards the 30 plants a week goal. I'm already with one little salad. So I think mix as you wish. Maybe one thing to think about is if you're going to cook them all together, some cook faster, some cook slower. Think about that. But if you're going to buy cans, you can just open and mix them as you wish.
I agree with all those comments. I think if you're really interested in what's the most nutritious bean, then I'm positive Dr. Michael Greger has an answer. Go to nutritionfacts.org. But I'll tell you, we're talking about all beans are very, very healthy, and it's a matter of degree. I mean, do you want a bean that's this healthy or this healthy? It's like pretty much the same thing. So pick what tastes good.
The darker pigments give you more
arthrocycin. I can't pronounce it.
Anthocyanin or other phytochemicals. So he suggests the darker the better. You can have black beans or red kidney beans. I mean, if you want to increase the nutritional or the nutrient value, but otherwise, the best ones are the ones you like eating, and mix it that way.
Yeah, I would think trying to optimize the most healthy bean is a futile thing. I mean, it's better to optimize other things. So if you're going from 99.99 to 99.999, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's maybe
Why not?
yeah. And so what's going to make the difference is the more that you eat of it. So I'd rather
Right.
eat something that's 97 on a scale of 100, but you eat a lot of it, than something that's 99.9 and you eat a little bit of it. So eat any bean you want. And in my segment, I mentioned the difference between green beans and dried beans. So green beans don't have as much fiber, but they actually have more anti-immune properties. And I didn't really know that till I was researching for this show. So we don't.
Good.
Yeah, when we talk about beans, we tend to think of the dried beans. Green beans are
Right.
good too, and that's the reason I like my salad, is because it brings you some of those anti-immune, I mean, those immunity boosting powers with green beans.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of good comments. Patricia, turn that into a question. You can be in the drawing. And
Oh, she
yep.
is. We have her down.
Okay. And Al Cathar, so black beans are the best in her book. Everybody's different. I love I love black eyed peas, and my daughter
I
doesn't
like
like
them
them so
too.
much, right?
Yeah.
They're really beans, but we call them black eyed peas. I like black beans. From a culinary perspective, I use beans differently. If I want something that's chunky, I'll use black beans. Yesterday I had some tacos, and I put black beans with sweet potato, a mash of it, and I put it in my tacos with some salsa. It was quite good, but I had a chunk. If I want something soft, then I'll pick something like a cannellini bean. How do you pronounce cannellini, Janin?
Cannellini, because
Okay,
they say the N, it's double N and double L, and in contrary to how we say double letters, they pronounce each single one. Like we say tennis, and they say tennis.
Oh.
It's pretty funny. And when I say tennis, it's like, well, you're wasting a letter. And I'm saying, you're wasting your energy. You're saying too much.
You're not Italian. You're Turkish by birth, I believe. So,
Right.
and I know you're married to somebody who's Italian by birth. But how have you become so good at speaking Italian?
Well, I live there now. Okay, except for the 5 years in Abu Dhabi, I lived there for 15 years before we left for Abu Dhabi. So you have to learn it because they don't speak much English. So you have to. Like in Abu Dhabi, you don't have to speak anything but English. You hit the ground running because everybody speaks English. So before that, we were living in the Netherlands. You hit the ground running if you speak English. And I stayed there 10 years and didn't learn Dutch, unfortunately. It's shame on me, but I had a very stressful high-level job and single mom, and my work was in English, so I had no reason other than living there for 10 years to learn Dutch. But maybe I should have had a Dutch boyfriend, and maybe it would have worked. But Italian, I married one, and I lived there, so I had to learn. Otherwise,
you should have called me back then, because I knew I know some Dutch vegans. I could have introduced you.
But I wasn't back then. I'm only. It's coming up on 10 years for me. I have, it's been, 2017, January of 2017 is when I started eating whole food plant-based. So it's full 9 years, 9.5 now. And next January will be 10.
Nice. Congratulations.
I agree. I saw the light.
That's great. And by the way, our shows are primarily whole food plant-based, but we are vegan, and we're not. Ideally, it'd be great if you're 100% whole food plant-based, but at least I think all three of us are 100% vegan, and I'm not always 100% whole food plant-based. I go out to restaurants, and sometimes I use processed foods too. So the key thing, I think, is to eat plants, and ideally whole food plants. But if you are eating some processed, it's nice to have a handful of processed foods here and there. I don't like things that look like meat, but field roast makes a sausage that I really like. I used it in dinner a couple nights ago. But it has apples, it has legumes, it has good ingredients, but it's not the way nature grew it. But we are promoting being primarily whole food plant-based and certainly vegan.
Well, right. I wanted to just add, for the lady who asked, I think it was a lady who asked about her bean salad drying and adding more mayo and stuff. And somebody said, I think Cody said, I never have leftovers. Well, you have a larger family. We're only two, and when I have leftover bean salad, um, I like to call it metamorphosis. Whenever I have leftovers, I make them into something different. And so if I have bean salad leftover, I I usually smush it up in a blender and make like a hummus like dip, and then we use it in a wrap, and it's already flavored and wonderful. And if you add more things to it, you don't see it and you eat it. Or I often use the leftover bean salad and use it as a starter for a soup because I'm a lazy cook. So those are some things I do if by chance I have leftover bean salad that I don't want to eat, like as a bean salad.
And that was Janet who asked that. That's what I do too. I think you guys have heard me brag before, and I brag not so much to show off for myself, but to show off how easy it is to be vegan. I've known my wife Sangeeta for 23 years, I think, and never once have I repeated dinner. She gets something brand new every night. Now, she and my daughter are traveling. My daughter's at an origami conference in New York, so I'll make whatever I please for myself tonight. I don't care whether I've made it before. I'm sure I'll make something I've made before. But with my wife, it's a self-imposed challenge, and it's easy. I still have lots of new ideas, and I do what you said. So when I have like something left over, I'll think of a new way to recreate it. And so that's and I recommend other people try the same thing. When you have leftovers, it can get tiring. Do something different. If you have beans, maybe make a big bowl of brown rice, mix the beans in, put some extra, fresh vegetables, and you have a new dish.
Yeah, the bean salad turns into a rice salad or a grain salad.
Yeah. So here was a question for you, Cody. Do you think dried cranberries would be good if I don't have red grapes for the sandwich?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as you can handle something a little chewier while you're eating the sandwich, I think that would be just fine and probably really tasty too. And they'd probably soften up the longer they're sitting in that. They'll absorb some of that moisture, so then you may have to add a little more something into it if you want it moist again. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah.
And then Kathy asked a question completely off topic. Do any of you use creamed veggies as facial masks or moisturizers? I use organic castor oil. What is castor? So castor is a bean, I think. It comes from I think castor is a bean. So
doesn't it come from an animal, castor?
No, it's botanical.
Oh.
Well, you guys know far more about facial masks. I don't know anything about this. I'll let you guys talk, and I'll do a little research on what is castor. I think it's a bean.
Okay. Call me the savage one.
I don't remember what castor exactly is, but I know it's a plant. I've used the organic castor oil. It helps clean out pores really good. So if you rub it on your face and then use a hot fresh washcloth and kind of steam your face that way, it will help kind of clean out your pores, and it works really good actually. So I've done that before, but that's all I really have used it for. I haven't ever just done any kind of creamed vegetables on my face though.
So I was right. Castor it's called castor bean, but it's not a bean. It's the seed of another family, of Fabaceae, the same family of beans. So it's from the Mediterranean, East Africa, and Asia, and India. And so this thing, which is called a bean but isn't a bean, is certainly a plant, and it's squeezed and made into the castor bean oil.
Well, the conservation scientist in me, of course, thought of it as an animal because it's the beaver, which is a castor. So sorry about that.
And then there's some more questions. You guys have some really good questions. Let's see. So they asked you, Jean, and why did you go vegan 10 years ago?
Oh, good question. I went plant-based because I had major health problems. I battled with 10 years of chronic muscle and joint pains all over. And modern medicine, bless their heart, couldn't take care of it. And one day, a friend of mine who had recently taken the course, the E. Cornell and T. Colin Campbell course on plant-based nutrition, told me, hey, I just studied this and it looks like it would be really helpful for you. Why don't you give it a try? So, the scientist in me, I went and took the course myself. It was November of 2016. And that just was like eye-opening for me. And I thought, I'm going to try it. But then November to January is holidays and everything. So January, I started cold tofu, and yeah, it was within 3 months. I no longer had my aches and pains, and I had energy, and I was back to my normal self from 10 years prior. So that's why I switched. And then I never looked back because I said, okay, I was too afraid to go back anymore. That was it.
El Cathar asked the question of me, and I'll answer, then maybe Cody, you could also answer it. So why did I go vegan? So my story is an interesting one. My parents are immigrants from India, and they were lifelong vegetarians forever. Now, my parents came a long time ago from India. There was less than 13,000 people from India in this country when they came. So it was vanishingly small. Now there's lots of people from India. And so my parents, I never wanted to ask them. They've passed away. I never wanted to ask them. But my guess is they probably said, most boys don't cook. What's this boy going to do when he grows up? And we live in a meat-eating country now. And so people don't eat vegetables that much. So my parents introduced me to meat, and they would take me out. In Hinduism, kind of like in Judaism, for some, not for all, meat is considered unclean. And so they would take me to McDonald's or Burger King. But after I was done eating anything with animals in it, I'd have to wash my lips with soap. So I should have realized, put two and two together, if this is like, they don't consider it clean, why am I eating it? But anyhow, I did eat meat growing up. In college, I ate meat. But then the second year in college, I had to cook for myself. And I made the connection. I said, I like animals. I don't want to, because when you eat a hamburger, it's a sandwich. But when you go to the grocery store, it's like you see the red, the blood. And I said, this is a dead animal. I don't want to eat it. So I became a vegetarian in college for ethical reasons. In graduate school, when I was at Brown University, I was invited to a vegan Thanksgiving. I'd never heard of veganism. Wow. And I picked up the pamphlets, and it all sounded good to me. It made sense. I was addicted to cheese. So I said, this all sounds good. I like being a vegetarian. I don't think I'll become vegan because I love my cheese. But over time, and I used to give talks on this, that vegan is the way to go. And I would say I'm not vegan. But then more and more, I realized I really do need to be vegan. And once you give up the casomorphins, which are very addicting compounds in dairy, you don't need them. I would never imagine drinking cow's milk or eating dairy cheese. I do eat cheese occasionally, but it's vegan cheese. Sometimes I make my own cheese sauce. So why did I go vegan? Purely for ethical reasons. I didn't even think about the health reasons. I became aware of them as I got older and became a Food for Life instructor. Our classes are based on why it's the best thing for your health. But my foundation isn't health. It's purely ethics. And it's also by far the best thing for the environment. Cody, did you want to share what caused you to go vegan?
Yeah, so I have about the exact same anniversary as John. So maybe just like a couple months before that, it was when Nora turned 9 and she's almost 10. So she'd be about 9 years then for me. But anyway, so I did mine.
Not when she turned 9.
No, when she turned 9, and she's 9 now. So, she's almost 10. Next week she'll be 10 already. So it's crazy. Time flies by. Best decision I ever made my whole life. I did mine for more health aspect. I wasn't battling any health issues, but I'm a cardiac nurse, and so I just discovered how you can reverse heart disease and prevent it and treat it. And so I just want to prevent myself from having heart disease down the road. And then, of course, once I learned more and more about it, then it's kind of just, you incorporate everything, like the love for the animals and, of course, the love for the environment. It's all a win-win-win situation. And it's just been great. I'll never go back. And, I completely did a turnaround. I used to be a hunter. I'm from a family of hunters. And so, now I'm vegan. Proudly so, it's come a long ways. So, and I've not battling any chronic diseases, and hopefully someday I'll be a grandma. Hopefully my kids will decide to have kids someday, so then I can run around and take care of them. Like Jonan is, experiencing her family right now. I hope to do that down the road as well. So
I do too.
You're so lucky to have been a cardiac nurse, to have witnessed the results of what could be if you don't eat healthy. That's amazing. I wish I had the knowledge and the experience going, starting at your age, but I'm grateful. I started, I'm 66 this year, so
So
It's-
Cody, I share with you too. You and I both have our own children who are vegan. My daughter's been vegan since conception, and yours have been vegan for a good long time. And so once in a while, my wife and I talk about it. What would you do if a new starts eating meat? And I said, well, it's her decision, but I'd be really shocked if she did, because she knows all the reasons she promotes veganism. She's a kid in the kitchen. I'm hoping we can have another Kid in the Kitchen show soon. We should talk about that sometime soon. And so I just don't see it happening with my daughter. She's like me. She's motivated by ethics, but she's learned the health benefits. And I find it interesting because a lot of teens, when you're a teen, you think that you can live forever and you don't have to worry about, if you're a teenager, you can get away with eating bad food. You can eat potato chips and French fries all the time because the health outcomes often show up much later. So a lot of teens do eat less healthy food, but your kids and my kid can get away with some of that because when they do eat junk food, it's plant-based. So it's not, my daughter doesn't always eat an optimal diet, but it's always 100% vegan. And I think that's a good foundation as she gets older. As she gets older, maybe there'll be, and actually I've already seen she doesn't eat macaroni and cheese as much, vegan macaroni and cheese as much as she used to. She used to eat it every week, and now I can't remember the last time she had it. It's been 6 months or more. So let's see. Let's get a few more questions, then we'll do the drawing. Let's see. So Kathy was talking about using a hand masher. Somebody was talking. Kathy said, "Pull out." Oh, sorry. Janet Doe. I've heard of using avocado on the face, but not veggies.
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers. That's right. Sandy, I know
that.
fresh is best. Would canned or frozen green beans? Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing about fresh is if you buy fresh and then it spoils, first of all, try using vacuum like I've started using. Or there's nothing wrong with frozen. The only problem with frozen is that it does cost extra energy. A lot of times the best vegetables, they taste the best when they are frozen because they've been picked and quickly frozen. So you get really, really fresh vegetables. So I love using frozen. I sometimes, if I don't use my frozen fast enough, get ice crystals on the frozen, but I sound like a commercial. I'm going to start using, yesterday I took some frozen food I had and I put it in a plastic bag with my vacuum sealing thing and I sealed it. And so hopefully I'll get less ice crystals with my new system. Let's see, a couple more questions that came in. Here we go. Yeah, so Kathy mentioned Brittany Girodi. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I know Brittany. She has a wonderful website and a presence promoting. And as I recall, Brittany became vegan for health reasons, and she has a very nice online presence. And I also follow her, and she has the best ever vegan cheese. And I don't doubt she has excellent cheese. She's very good at what she does. We also, in particular, Carolyn and Cody, was it this January or last January? We had a cheese show. And I made my cheese sauce, but I loved, you guys did it together, Cody. I think they were Carolyn's recipes, and they were really good. Like there was 3 different cheese recipes.
Oh, we did it on the cruise ship.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
check out so many. Oh, and speaking of that, I was about to say you can search our website. I have some news for everybody, including the 2 of you. Our website's been having some problems, and I realized that our webmaster that we had, I didn't realize she wanted to move on to something else. So we're about to transition the website, and we have some really cool new things coming up for the website. Brian, who does my filming, he's also an expert at the web, and so stay tuned. So I think right now the search function isn't working, but it should be working again in the near future. Yep. So Brittany has a good online presence. All right, let's do the drawings. So okay, so Cody, you said there's 6 people who've asked so far, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to give us one last minute. If anybody has any questions, can you read off the 6 people who have asked questions?
I have Janet, Patricia, Kathy, Geetha, Sandy, and at iCather.
Okay, so I'm going to, you said 6, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a number from 1 to 6, and I don't remember who is who. I'll let Cody announce the name. And so the winner of the magazine subscription, Veg News, it's an excellent magazine by Vegetarian Resource Group. The winner is number 1. Who is 1?
That would be Janet Doe.
Janet, congratulations. Please email, if you win, please email Dilip@somanycooks.com and Karen. So Dilip@somanycooks.com and Karen at somanycooks.com, and confirm that you're here. And Janet, you have won things before, so I think we have your address, but go ahead still, if you don't mind, please email us your address and we'll get you a subscription to Vegan Journal. Okay, yay, Janet, you're here. So please drop an email. Okay, let's draw again, and this is for the beans. There's a variety of beans from Michigan, from our heartland. So the winner of that is number 3. So who is 3, Cody?
That would be Kathy.
Kathy, congratulations.
Kathy Sabo, yep.
So Kathy Sabo, please email us. Let us know you're here, first of all. And then once you do that, please send an email to Dilip, D-I-L-I-P, @somanycooks.com and Karen @somanycooks.com. And we will get your address. Don't post your address here. And we will send you the beans. So Kathy, are you here? You asked a question, Rose. Yeah, excellent. Okay, good. So let us know how the beans come out. And by the way, let us know about other things. If you think of shows, we have decided, and it was based on feedback from the audience last time. So Cody, what is our show for August?
That's going to be ice cream, and I already have my flavor figured out. I'm going to make mango. I've been making a lot of homemade ice cream lately because my middle daughter had some oral surgery and she had to have a lot of soft foods and cold was best. And so I've made so much and it's been so tasty. So I fine-tuned that recipe. I'm really excited to share that with you guys next month. So
excellent. Jean, and what do you? Oh, Jean is going to have to miss because of the grandchild.
That's a good reason. We'll let you off the hook this time.
That's right. So what I'm probably going to make is I love strawberry ice cream. It's so easy. We use frozen strawberries and we put a little bit of soy milk or very little. You don't need much liquid. And if you want it a little sweeter, you can put some dates. It's so good. But what I was thinking about this today as I was preparing for the show. I think what I might make, because I've done this before, but I was thinking I might make like a Rocky Road ice cream. I might, mix in some chocolate chips, maybe some walnuts or something, make it a kind of a Rocky ice cream. I might do some sort of a sundae. I haven't decided yet, but I love ice cream. What's interesting is my where we live in North Carolina, there's a wonderful ice cream place. Nowadays, it seems like all ice cream places have vegan options. So they have lots of vegan options. And my family actually likes my ice cream more than the stores. I like the stores better than mine, but family likes mine better. Yeah, that's interesting. We did do fruit compote once for one of our holiday shows. Oh, you're quite welcome, Patricia. Thank you. When is the ice cream show? Have we set a date? It's August. I don't remember if we've set a date. So we will do that soon if we haven't. I think we actually do have a date.
Isn't it? I thought it was the 15th or something.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I have it down as the 15th or 8th, and I think it's probably going to be the 15th.
Right.
So tentatively, August 15, I'll put a question mark. Tentatively for ice cream. So much ice cream. It's kind of cool because this year, or last year, we did a cheese show, and this year we did an egg show, and we're doing an ice cream show too, right? All whole food, plant-based, vegan, easy peasy. No cow's milk or anything like that. Purely vegan. All right, we can start to wrap up. Jean, and it's so nice to see you on Q&A.
Thank you. And I want to say that the Forks Over Knives magazine, this summer issue, has lots of ice cream recipes in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, worth looking.
Okay,
Nice.
thanks.
Nice. Did you want to share anything? Because we won't see you for 2 months before. Did you want to share any words of wisdom?
I might make it to the September one. I'm still here in the U.S. in September, so I might make it to September unless the baby's crying and I have to.
Well, bring the baby on the show.
I might.
That's right. Yeah, we like babies.
Love babies.
I will.
I
Then I will.
But before our next show, I'm hoping to be visiting Oregon because my wife's niece just had a baby a month ago, and we all love babies. So they already bought tickets. I have a lot going on here, so I'm trying to see if I can go for at least 2 or 3 days.
Good. Yeah, you should.
I should. Cody, do you want to share any words of wisdom?
No, just eat more beans. Try out these recipes. If any of them like sparks an interest to you, tweak them as you want to. You know, recipes are just a guide. You know, we all have our special flavors that we enjoy. So just tweak it as you need to. And just thanks for watching today. And we hope to see you guys in August for our ice cream show. So
I agree. We don't have a topic for September, so please, if you have any ideas, let us know. So September and October, we don't know. And then what we've been doing for quite a few years now, we've been doing this more than 6 years, is November and December is always recorded because we're busy, you're busy. So we usually do 3, maybe 4 shows, and we mix it up. We don't just do Saturdays. We throw a show in the weekday, and then we do maybe one on a Sunday, and we'll repeat some good holiday recipes. So that I'm sure we'll do this year as well. One thing for me personally is the ice cream show is going to be my last show from home or elsewhere. I don't know if you guys know, I also teach math, and I'm building a new math school, and it's going to have a kitchen, and we're going to have pocket doors. So when I teach, we can open it up and have more space. And so I'm hoping that the September shows and on will be from my math school, and that'll be pretty cool. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. Congratulations.
We have some construction delays, but and Kathy's asking, didn't Forks and Over Knives say they're ending? And I've heard that too, but I don't know what the status is.
The magazine is there. Run and get it. I love the Forks Over Knives magazine. So
Me too.
Thanks, Kathy. We loved having you. We always love having you. Pie. Oh, what a great idea!
a pie
That's
show.
a great idea, because you know what I like to sometimes do is I like to make a vegetable pot pie or something like that. You know what my daughter's been making? She made it twice, but it's so good. She made cherry pie. We've been getting wonderful organic cherries. And I know Cody has it too. I have a cherry pitter and a strawberry dealer. And so we've been getting for $4 a pound organic cherries. I've been buying bag after bag after bag and using my machine and eating them. And my daughter made cherry pie twice. The cherry pie was so good.
I bet.
So maybe we should. I think pie is a great idea. Fall, it's getting fall. It'll be fall. It's getting to be fall in September. And we could talk about fruit pies or savory pies. Great idea, Alcathar. Let's consider that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you, Alcathar. Pies, yep, I agree. I think pies might be it. We've never done pies, have we?
Mm-mm.
How come we didn't think about that? Yeah.
We may have had pies in the holiday shows, but not an entirely pie show.
Right. Yep.
What a great idea. I think we should probably do it for September. I see no reason not to.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Apple pie, blueberry pie. I make a blueberry crisp. Maybe we can expand it to pies and crisps because I like blueberry crisp a lot.
Yeah, I like crisps. Not crisp. What is that?
Cobbler.
Crumble. I like the crumble pies. I'm the lazy cook.
And you know,
I doubt that.
Well, I'm the lazy cook.
I think the crumble is great because you mix everything and you put the crumble on top and you just shove it in the oven, and it's my type of cooking.
I like I just love to cook, and I like hanging out in the kitchen, but I am lazy because inevitably I'm always busy and I have to get things done. But more like right now for a few days I'm by myself, so I can eat at any time. I stay up very late, so I can cook at any time. But I have to be lazy because my wife, if she eats beyond, my wife goes to bed really early. I go to bed really late, and I can eat I go to bed at 3 usually or later. I can have a snack at 2:30 in the morning and go to bed half an hour later. It's not best practices, but it doesn't affect me. I can eat very, very late, but my wife can't. And so if I haven't had dinner ready by 7, if I'm out and it's 7 o'clock, she'll call me, Dilip, are you going to be home? Because I have to eat at 8. Please give me some notice. I'll put something together. And I'll say, I'll be there in 15 minutes and dinner will be ready by 8. And if it's not ready by 8, she gets very upset. So I have to be lazy. I have to cook really quickly because sometimes I am out and my wife has to eat. My daughter's easy. We'll eat whenever, but my wife isn't. So I do have to be lazy. Lazitarians.
I like easy recipes.
Good to see you, Jody. I don't think I've seen you on the show before. So welcome to the show. Holding up a bowl sounds like you might be a chef. So we're so glad you found us. And maybe next time ask a question and you can win a prize with us. Thank you so much, Kathy, for your comments. And Alcathar, yep, very excited. So unless there's any final questions, we love doing the show. I love my recipe. And I learn, I tell all my students, I learn so much from them. One thing I learned from you is when we did a bean salad show, I was thinking, what should I do? And I started investigating, can I combine green beans with dried beans? I never thought about that. So it's because of you guys that I came up with this recipe. Oh, Jody's a Food for Life instructor. Excellent. Yay. Nice. I'm teaching a Food for Life class tomorrow, Jody.
Lazitarians. Lazytarians. That's me. I like that. I was thinking, what is that word? Lazytarians.
Wonderful. Jody, where are you based? Are you in the United States? Which state are you in? I'm so glad you're watching us.
You should join us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, I love doing the show, and thank you all for watching. And let's see if Jody has a comment about where she's based out of. And I can't wait to do the ice cream show. Like I said, I've never done like a Rocky Road one, but I think I can do it. Maybe even chocolates and marshmallows. We can talk about vegan marshmallows. Oh, Jody, you're in Michigan. Okay. So the giveaway today is beans from Michigan. So
there you go.
Nice.
Hope we get to meet you one day. I know Cody is going to be. Are you going to be at the conference, Jean, in August? We have
no, that's when the baby's coming.
Yeah. ICNM, I highly recommend, International Conference of Nutrition and Medicine. Cody's one of the presenters. She and Tammy do a nurses event. Did you want to take a moment to tell us what is ICNM and why is it important for doctors, healthcare professionals, and just lay people to attend? About the food there?
Oh, yeah, the food's wonderful. Yeah, the conference is the 13th through the 15th? 13th through the 15th, yeah, of August. So it's full day. You get to hear from the experts on the latest nutrition research. There's people from all over the world that come to this. We have about 100 nurses, and I host the nurses luncheon. And it's a lot of fun, especially being around a bunch of like-minded people and just learning from each other, supporting each other in our journeys, and networking with people all across the world is pretty incredible. So yeah, it's just, if you get a chance, come to Washington, D.C., August 13th through the 15th for ICNM. You can look it up at pcrm.org and then just put in their little search bar ICNM and it will pop up for you. So
today we didn't say much about Food for Life. We're all Food for Life instructors, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine instructors. It's an excellent organization founded by Neil Barnard, Dr. Neil Barnard, and it's interested in ethics and healthcare and getting the word out there about the many, many, many benefits of plant-based eating. So if you go to pcrm.org, go to fflclasses.org, look for local instructors. We teach classes. Tomorrow, the class I'm teaching is on heart-healthy eating. So we have classes in diabetes. It turns out going whole food plant-based with limited fat gives you far better health outcomes than the American Diabetes Association standard diet. They know about us, and apparently there's a footnote on their website saying you can be plant-based and get better results. They don't necessarily say that, but they say follow our advice and you will help with your A1C, which is what diabetics measure. We have classes in cancer prevention, cancer management, classes for kids, lots of classes. So look them up. And if you yourself have some expertise and want to become a Food for Life instructor, then again, go to pcrm.org. We recently minted a bunch of new Food for Life instructors. And when I say we, it's not us, it's the headquarters. We don't have anything to do with it, but we applaud that effort and we applaud having more team members. So if you have an interest, go to pcrm.org and apply. Maybe next time there's applications open, and they look for people who are passionate about food, people who know how to cook, people who are vegan, and people who have good references and know how to teach. So we'd welcome others to join our team. All right, looks like there's one final comment, and the comment is, let's see. I think adding a testimony of changes to become vegan has made in people's lives as a feature of the show. Okay. And we welcome that. So Kathy, if you'd like to, anybody wants to during a show say, I'd like to share at the end a little bit about the differences that this has made in my life, we would welcome that. We would love it. So by all means. So let's not do it now, but maybe next month, if you have some comments, want to share how this has changed your life. We do that in our classes. right? So when we have classes week after week, we say, how are you doing? And believe it or not, by week 2, I get many people who say my life has changed. I'm, things are, I need less sleep. I'm more, my joint pain has gone away, all sorts of things. Thank you, Jody. And we'll see you guys next month for some ice cream. It's always great to have ice cream.
Sounds good. All right. Bye.
Bye. To figure out how to get us out. Here we go. Bye.
So many cooks in the kitchen, so many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share.